There, okay, this is my take on the whole thing about Jada Pinkett, Will Smith, and the whole Oscar thing with Spike Lee. They have a good idea. They have a good idea of what's going on in society, but what they have to realize is, as Aunt Viv says from Fresh Prince of Bel Air, there's a greater problem. There's a greater problem in our society with hunger. Our black teen males being shot down in the streets like animals. Well, you can name all kind of things. Terror attacks. How come it takes something like the Oscars or their paycheck to be overlooked in the sense of I need this Oscar because everybody knows that the Oscar represents prestige. It represents the best award you can get to get more money. You get that Oscar, you can get more money in future movies. Am I right? Or am I right? If I'm not right, let me know. But however, there's a lot of more issues out there that needs to be addressed, to the tune that boycott some serious things. Okay, the Oscars is a serious thing. Okay, it's a racial issue and stuff like that. But boycott some of the serious things that's going on in our communities, like some of these neighborhoods where they're not hiring blacks or more, not just blacks, but minorities. They're not hiring them. They're choosing their white counterparts over minorities. There's a struggle in the housing system where they're giving out loans to other nationalities other than minorities, businesses. There's a lot of minorities trying to start businesses but can't find the funding. But you get Joe Blow from a different country that doesn't even live here. You get Billy Bob from across the town. He can get whatever he wants to get. But, minorities, they want to do something productive in their communities. They want to hire people and do things for people and create jobs and different things like that. It's nowhere to be found. That's injustice. That is injustice at its fullest. That's the kind of things that need to be boycotted in this day and time. There's crime, in the legal system, in the justice system. Why don't all the actors with power and influence, Jada, Spike Lee, you're probably doing some things over in your areas and stuff like that, but it's not being seen across the board. It's not being seen across the television where everybody wants an interview with you guys now, talking about your cause or talking about your boycott. How come there is no boycott going on right now for our young people that's trying to make it in life? You know what I mean? It's a struggle out there for us minorities out there to try and do things. Everybody out there is not cornrows and sagging pants and talking derogatory, or females out there walking the streets having all of us are not like that. I'm sorry, America. All minorities are not like that. There are plenty of minorities that have college educations, that want their own companies, that want their own businesses, and want to do the right thing and help other people. But guess what? You are hindering us, and you know it. Someone needs to really, really, really step to the board with power and influence and call you out on your stuff. You are hindering us. We are a threat, and you know we are a threat. We get out there, we want to do some things that's wonderful. We want to amass our own influence, our own wealth, our own power. We want to enable our own culture. We want to do things for our own people. And guess what? You stand at the door with both your arms out saying you can't get through. You can't get through here. Because if you get through here, then there's a wealth of opportunity that I basically have the key to and I have the control to, and I'm telling you no. We have to fight through more red tape than anybody else. And you know this, Mr. America. You know this. This is not anything new. This has been happening for centuries. When are you going to stop? What does it take? Our people, minorities, are not willing to go backwards to those times where where Mr. America said that we're going to put our foot on your neck and we're going to do whatever we want to do. No, that's not happening. Hello, Mr. America, listen to me carefully. That is not happening. We're not going back to those days. We're not. You ought to see that by now. We're not going to those days. You're not going to just be able to come into communities and disrupt communities and do what you please. It's not happening. So we need to come up with a new solution. There will be a fight. There's a fight that people are doing where they want to be heard. They want their voices to be heard, to let you know we're not radicals. We're not violent people, as you say, Mr. America, and you spread it all on your television systems and your radio systems and outlets and stuff. And guess that I heard something the other day. I guess it was on the internet. I heard it on TV and the radio also, how they're saying when African Americans and minorities protest, we're called thugs or terrorists or, all these derogatory names. But when your Caucasian counterparts protest and march, tear up and turn over vehicles and set things on fire, they're just excited, or they're passionate about their cause. Mr. America, where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? We're not thugs. We're passionate about our cause. We hate racism. We hate racism. We hate what America does to us. We are passionate about our cause. We hate murder. Murder by the badge. I'm sorry. Murder by the hashtag murder by the badge. We hate it. And we're not passionate. We're thugs. We're terrorists. But Caucasian counterparts can go and do the same thing. Oh yeah, they loot, they burn, they vandalize, but they're just excited or passionate about their cause? Come on. Are you serious? I will not stand for this tone even in my home. I'm not a racist person at all. I love everybody. I love Caucasians, I love Hispanics, I love African American, Japanese, Chinese, you name it. I'm a lover of mankind. And until Mr. American can see that, you have to love mankind. We are all human. We are all out here set to do something. We all have a purpose to do something in life. But no one ever gave you the key to hold someone back. Who gave you that authority where you feel like you're above everyone and everyone else is beneath you? Who told you that? Who bred that into you from the beginning that you were better than anybody? I'm sorry, you're not. You are not. You need to get a grip. Our people, we need to get a grip. And until we come together as a people, fight for the cause. I'm not saying beat people down or anything like that, because there have been thousands of peaceful protests to turn out violent by the authorities. I've seen it. Peaceful protests, but you have angry mayors that don't like our people. You have angry police departments that don't like minorities. They don't like our people. So by any means necessary, they will do whatever they can. They will do whatever they will, and they feel like they can do whatever they want to assert this authority and power to make us to believe that we are beneath them. And that is not the case. That is not true. I'm sorry. This is 2016. This is not 1960. I'm sorry. I hope this video goes viral because I want everyone out there to listen to what I have to say. It's a bigger cause. Hollywood stars of color and minority, Hispanic. It's a bigger cause than this. Use your power and influence to do something greater that will impact the lives of many. What you're doing out there, Mrs. Smith, Mr. Lee, and Mr. Smith, and Idris Alba, all you stars out there, what you are doing, you're speaking out with a voice of selfishness to me in a sense, because it's all about the Oscars and about movies, about Hollywood. I don't live in Hollywood. I'm not a part of Hollywood. I don't have an Oscar. I don't have a Globe, Golden Globe, Emmy. I don't have any of that kind of, those kind of awards, prestigious awards. You guys have amassed a lot of these things. We need boots on the ground. We need your voice on the ground in these various cities, in these various communities, using your influence and using your capabilities for your production companies and camera sense to get out there, start splatting, ads on the television about injustice to minorities. Come on now. Use your resources. Help us out. Help us out. You have people like Dr. Al Sharpton and, people like that goes and does marches and stuff like that. They try and use their power and influence. But Hollywood, there are people out in Hollywood of African-American descent, of Hispanic descent, who has power, serious power in the industry. Mr. Denzel Washington. Yes. Mr. Will Smith, is to name a few. It's a bunch of, Samuel L. Jackson, and it's a bunch of you veterans out there and upcoming actresses and actors out there who has amassed influence, which is greater than money. You have influence, and you can put your resources together and start a campaign that will make Mr. America listen. They wouldn't have any choice, because every time they turn on the TV, they turn on the radio, they hear you. They have no choice but to hear you, unless they're going to go in the room and shut the door and turn out the light and be by themselves. It ain't happening. Okay? That's just a bit of my heart, because it's sad. I see the outcry on TV, everybody, now these interviews, because someone doesn't want to go to the Oscars. I'm sorry. That just don't cut it. That just doesn't cut it. I'm signing off. Comment to this video if you think I'm out of my banana mind. If I'm going nuts, I'm going rockers, let me know. If you like the video, let me know. Share the video with everybody. Share, because I want this to get to them. Whoever knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody need to hear this video. I'll go on every outlet. I'll tell it. I don't care. I'm a nobody, somebody simple in the neighborhood. I'll get on there and tell what people feel, what people really feel. Give me the opportunity. I spare no pain. I don't care. Get me out there. I'll do it. It's bigger than the Oscars. It's bigger than the Golden Globe. It's bigger than the Emmys. We need help in our communities. Use your power and use your influence to help those in the community. Thank you. And I approve this message.